Child Abuse, featuring Matilda, by Amy Kim and Kristen Hackett. Any recent act or failure to act on the part of a parent or caretaker which results in death, serious physical or emotional harm, sexual abuse or exploitation, or an act or failure to act which presents an imminent risk of serious harm. Types of abuse: physical abuse, neglect, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, abandonment, substance abuse.
$5,000? I'm not paying it. What are they going to do, repossess the kid? Others take a less emotional approach.
Harry and Zinnia Wormwood lived in a very nice neighborhood, in a very nice house, but they were not really very nice people.
Get out of the street, you little dodos!
The Wormwoods were so wrapped up in their own silly lives that they barely noticed they had a daughter.
Impaired parenting related to physiological impairment or emotional abuse of parent. Use the Parenting Self-of-Competence Scale to measure parental self-efficacy. Examine the characteristics of parenting style and behaviors. Consider dysfunctional parent-sitter cognitions as potentially critical correlations of abusive behavior. Institute abuse neglect protection measures if evidence exists of an inability to cope with family stressors or crisis, signs of parental substance abuse are observed, or a significant level of social isolation is apparent. Promotion of better quality relationships between parents and children is an effective strategy that can lead to enhanced learning. Neglect. Failure to provide for a child's needs, including physical, medical, educational, emotional.
Soup's on the stove. Heat it up if you get hungry.
Matilda was left alone.
Imbalanced nutrition, less than body requirements related to inadequate caretaking. Use a nutritional screening tool to determine possibility of malnutrition. Observe the client's relationship to food.
A book? What do you want a book for?
To read.
To read? Why would you want to read when you got the television set sitting right in front of you? There's nothing you get from a book that you can't get from a television faster.
Delayed growth and development related to inadequate caretaking, stimulation deficiencies. Promote normal sleep-wake times for clients to promote growth and development. Engage the client in appropriate play activities. Refer the child to a child life therapist or recreational therapist for supplemental strategies. To determine risk for or actual deviations in normal development, consider the use of a screening tool. Assess whether exposure to violence or parental stress is contributing to developmental problems. Encourage parents to take children for routine health visits to family physician or pediatrician. Elicit the involvement of parents and caregivers in social support groups and parenting classes.
These books gave Matilda a hopeful and comforting message. You are not alone.
Post-trauma syndrome related to physical or psychosocial abuse. Assess the child's affect and behaviors. Evaluate social interactions and sense of trust in others. Assist the child in identifying feelings and coping strategies by providing counseling, art, therapy, etc. Emotional abuse. Pattern of behavior that impairs a child's emotional development or sense of self-worth. Includes constant criticism, threats, rejection, withholding love, support, or guidance. Almost always presents when other types of abuse are identified. Difficult to prove.
The library? You've never set foot in a library. You're only 4 years old.
6.5.
You're 4.
6.5.
If you were 6.5, you'd be in school already.
I want to be in school. I told you I was supposed to start school in September. You wouldn't listen.
Get up. Get up. Get out here. Give me that book. Dearest Pie, how old is Matilda?
4. I'm 6 and a half, Mommy.
5 then.
I was 6 in August.
You're a liar.
I want to go to school.
School. It's out of the question. Who would be here to sign for the packages? We can't leave valuable packages sitting out on the doorstep. Now go watch TV like a good kid.
Social isolation related to limited support systems. Establish a therapeutic relationship with the client. Observe for barriers to social interaction. Discuss causes of isolation. Promote social interactions. Support the expression of feelings. Assist the client in identifying specific health and social problems and involve them in their resolution. Assist the client in identifying acceptable activities that encourage socialization. Identify available personal support systems and involve these individuals in the client's care.
Hey, dip face! Have a marshmallow! Have another marshmallow, dip face! Dip face!
Fear related to threat of punishment for perceived wrongdoing. Assess source of fear with the client. Assess for history of anxiety. Use drawing and artistic expression to assist children to express fear. Explore coping skills previously used by client to deal with fear. Reinforce these skills and explore other outlets. Refer to cognitive behavior therapy. Teach use of appropriate community resources in non-emergency situations. Use therapeutic touch and healing touch techniques.
You're heading for the turkey, young lady.
Choky?
Teach you a lesson.
What lesson?
You and your father think you can make a fool out of me.
My father?
The guy with a stupid haircut.
I'm nothing like my father.
You're a spitting image. The apple never rots far from the tree.
Physical abuse. Non-accidental physical injury, minor to severe to death. Result of punching, beating, kicking, biting, shaking, throwing, stabbing, choking, hitting, burning, or otherwise harming. Inflicted by parent, caregiver, or other person responsible for child. Abuse regardless of intention to hurt child. What to do with suspicions of child abuse. Take pictures of injuries. Follow facility protocol for reporting child abuse. Prevent further injury. Provide supportive care. Until action is taken, interact non-judgmentally with parent. Teach about home care. Refer for social work and counseling. Discipline versus abuse. Physical discipline, such as spanking or paddling, is not considered abuse as long as it is reasonable and causes no bodily injury to the child. Signs and symptoms. Sudden changes in behavior, unmet medical needs, watchful, preparing for something bad to happen, overly compliant, passive, or withdrawn, discloses maltreatment, unexplains burns, bites, bruises, broken bones, or black eyes, shrinks at the approach of adults, abuses animals or pets, conflicting or unconvincing explanations for child's injuries, has difficulty walking or sitting. Be aware of cultural practices. Coining, Vietnamese treatment of minor ailments and can be mistaken for abuse. Cupping, Chinese treatment of headaches and abdominal pain and can be mistaken for abuse. Abuse may present differently from culture to culture.